Hey Presto people, good to see you. In this video we are looking at the piano part to Billie Eilish's No Time to Die. So as you can see, we've got some slightly advanced ideas there, but we're going to look at it in different stages. A slightly easy version. It's all about the accompaniment as well. This is the part that the piano would actually play if you were going to sing along or get somebody else to sing it for you. We're going to cover some of the theory that's in the piece, some of the different chords and how to put those together. We'll even look at some of the composition ideas of how the piece as a whole is put together. We've got some technique ideas in there, interesting stuff like crossing of the hands that you might not have seen before. It's coming right up. The first chord is E minor. In the left hand, we're just going to put the root note, the note that gives the chord its name, down at the bottom. That's an E. And the tune is E, F sharp, G, and B. And what happens is you start on finger 2, and then in between each of those notes, put a B. So it goes E, and then down to the B, F sharp, down to the B, G, down to the B, B, and then down to the B. So make sure you practice each of these little sections. Perhaps practice this bit first, the tune, so you get used to where those fingers are going. And now try it whereby you play the tune, but with the B in between. And now perhaps try that with the E in the left hand. So if I count you in, 2, 3, 4, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and practice that bit round and round. Then the next chord is a chord of C. So again, we'll just put the root note, the note that gives the chord its name, down at the bottom, C. And your thumb now will move up to a C. And we end up with this. You see, it's the exact same pattern that you had in the first section, except your thumb has just come up from the B, where it was before, to the C. So if we go from the very beginning, 2, 3, 4, to C, the next chord is A. We're going to play the root note in the left hand there, and the tune, same thing in the top part, but your thumb's going to go to a C sharp now. That C sharp is the third note of an A major chord, making that bit sound quite happy there, because major chords sound happy. So you can see that I'm playing the exact same pattern, E, F sharp, G, B, except I'm going to a C sharp with my thumb in between. Next section is where we have a chord of B, so we've got a B with finger 3 now, and the right hand will play. So slightly different now, the tune is going with a B in between. So altogether, that's the easy version of the introduction. I'll play it through for you very slowly. After 4, 2, 3, 4. Don't forget, please do subscribe to the channel. If we had 4 beats on a particular chord, you could count 1, 2, 3, 4. To keep things super easy, if for now, just for now, if we've got 2 beats on a chord, what we'll do is we'll count 1, 2, 1, 2, just to get you used to the idea of holding 2 beats on those chords. 1, 2, 1, 2. But what will happen is as we progress, then we'll get used to counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that would be the correct way to count it, because there you're actually naming the beat numbers within the bar, which is important so you know where you're up to. This is the arrangement that we produced for our artist Jessica Gowing, so if you like it, please do click on the link in the description and I'll take you to that performance. A little bit of music theory now. Here is an A major chord. sounding happy. The third note of the major scale there is used, and the only difference between that and A minor is the third note of the scale, which for a major chord would be here for A major, but for A minor you lower it to a C. So here's A major, happy sound, here's A minor. And throughout this piece, the A chord is sometimes major and sometimes minor, which assists in making the piece sound quite unusual in places, because sometimes it's happy and sometimes it goes a little darker. So let's have a little look at the verse now, which uses eventually both versions of that A chord. You'll see when we get to it. So we're going to put a single note of E in the left hand, and we want E minor all together. So you can see I've got the root note there, the note that gives the chord its name, the minor third and the fifth, then the flattened seventh note of an E scale, and the F sharp, which is the ninth note. So all together there we get E minor, and then the seventh in there, which gives us E minor 7, and if we put the ninth note in there as well, we end up with E minor 9, which is that chord, and that's the very first chord. So we've got 1, 2 beats there on the E minor 9 chord, and then we go to a chord of C, which is simply just C, G, C, E, and then we're going to go to this chord, A major, first of all, A major, and then in the right hand there's going to be a little melody there, and that melody, C, E, G, F sharp, starts on a C, of course, which is the minor third of a chord of A. So what happened in that last little bit there is that we had a chord of A, and then we made that chord of A minor by putting this tune in. Make sure you're not using the sustain pedal there between the two chords of A and A minor, because otherwise if you sustain the both notes you'll end up with that, which isn't particularly pleasant. So from the beginning of the verse we've got E minor 9, E, G, B, D, F sharp, 2 beats there, 1, 2, chord of C, 1, 2, and now you want 2 beats on a chord of A, 1, 2, and now that little melody. The next 2 bars of the verse start again with the E minor 9, 1, 2, 2 beats on the chord of C, and now your chord of A again, and now we need to jump up for that little melody, B, A, G, F sharp. So if we play those 2 bars, we've got 2 beats on E minor 9, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. If you're enjoying this video, please do like and share. Let's have a look at the next 4 bars of the verse. E minor 9 for 2 beats, 1, 2, now T chord of C, 1, 2, chord of A major for 2 beats, chord of A minor for 2 beats, and now your chord of C, and we have this little melody coming in now. So what happened there was I had a chord of C, 1, 2, 3, 4, and now this next chord of B isn't really a full chord of B, it's a very, very sparse chord. If you listen to the original, that's all you've got. There's no third of that chord, you can't really tell whether it's major or minor, because the third note of a B scale isn't in that chord at that point. So we've just got that. Sounds very open and sparse there, which helps the piece to sound more eerie, more empty, because there's no third of the chord, so there's no character there as such, because it's not got the happy or sad quality to it. Next, the music goes back round the verse, and this time we're going to use a pattern of accompaniment which is very, very common in pop and rock music, and it's this pattern. It goes 1, 2 and 3 and 4, and I'll play that again for you. It goes 1, 2 and 3 and 4, and if you look at that, what happens is I play both right, left, right, left, right, left. This left hand is playing very softly after all the notes following beat 1. What does that mean? Well, on beat number 1, it's nice and strong. 1, and then this hand carries on with just 2, 3, 4. That's nice and strong. That's just going 1, 2, 3, 4. But on the ands in between, after beat 2, this comes in softly. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and so I'm actually playing both right, left, right, left, right, left, both right, left, right, left, right, left. Try that with me. 2, 3, 4. Both right, left, right, left, right, left, both right, left, right, left, right. If we count the beat numbers there, we'd end up with 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and if we continue that so that we can see how it fits the whole of this second part of the verse, it goes 2, 3, 4, E minor, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and I'll play that again for you. So that was 2 beats on E minor, 1, 2, and 3. Notice what happened there. Halfway through the pattern, this accompaniment pattern, I changed chord. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and so on beat 3, I actually put a C in there and then carried on the pattern. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and then if you remember when we did the first part of the verse, we had a little piano fill in the right hand, and this one goes. So the second time round here in the second part of the verse, we've got C, E, F sharp, G. So from the beginning of these 4 bars that we're working on, it goes 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and then the next 2 bars are almost identical, except the little fill at the end is different. It's the same as the one in the first section. So that means it goes 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and you recognize that from the first section. Let's play that again. That goes 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and up to B, 3, and 4, and. Are there other pieces that you would like to learn? Please do comment below and let us know. And finally, to finish off the verse, E minor again, 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Now to A minor, C, and at the end of there, at the end of that little part, notice that I finished the chord of B off fully. The first time around we just had that chord. It's called B5, just the root and fifth, the root and the 5th note of a B scale. That's why it's called B5. But we did actually put the major 3rd in that time, which is the D sharp. Next we have a little bridge to the first chorus, which starts on a chord of C. We only play that much of the C because we're going to use the intro melody, which comes in here. So we've got a chord of C. That's beat number 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you recognise that from the intro? So we're playing C, 2, 3, 4. I'll show that again. That's C, then so you got an E at the top there, then an F sharp, then a G, then a B. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we go to a chord of E minor. We'll just play this much of E minor because we're going to play the melody continuing. So we've got E at the top there, 2, 3, 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's have a look at that first little bit from the beginning of this bridge to the chorus. So starting on this chord of C, C, 2, 3, 4, then to E minor, 2, 3, 4. Now to A minor. Notice that the right hand plays the same as it did for the chord of C. That's because 2 of the notes from a chord of C are shared with 2 of the notes from a chord of A minor. There's A in the left hand, Still the same tune at the top. 2, 3, 4. So that's your A minor part. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we're going to finish on a B, a chord of B. So you want your thumb here, and an F sharp at the top, and a B, because that's going to give us that B5 chord. And that's the end of the bridge going into the chorus. Let's have a look at the whole of the bridge to the chorus. 2, 3, 4. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4 to E minor, 2, 3, 4 to A minor, 2, 3, 4 to B. So now to the chorus. The chorus is fairly straightforward because it uses chords and ideas that we've used before. So we're going to play E minor, this E minor 9 chord that we had for 2 beats. 1, 2, and notice that we're using those chords on each beat in the right hand, like we did for the previous section. That's 1, 2 to the chord of C, 1, 2. Now to a chord of A minor, but just hold it down for 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that space within the music helps to create more drama, means it makes it more spacey and open. Quite unusual for a chorus, because normally choruses tend to sort of lift up, because this is a dark and atmospheric song. Here we're using that space to create more tension in the music. So that chorus little section again is E minor 9. I'll count you in after 4, 2, 3, 4, E minor 9 for 2 beats, to C for 2 beats, to A minor and hold it down for 4 beats. 3, 4. Same again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. A minor. 2, 3. Same again, please. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. That, believe it or not, is all of the first chorus. And then it goes back to the intro. But this time, instead of just repeating the intro, let's go up a level. Now, if you found the first intro really tricky, obviously you can practice it to get better still at it, or you can now go up a gear and try this version. So here now we're going to enhance that melody up at the top by, instead of just playing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, now what we're going to do is, when it gets to the F sharp, we're going to take the left hand and cross over. F sharp, G, B. So we have 1 and left hand coming over to F sharp. Notice I'm crossing over the top. F sharp, B with your thumb. G, B with your thumb. And then B up here, and B with your thumb. And what happens on beat number 1 is you've got the E in octaves, 1 and cross over, and then beat number 2 is on the F sharp. I'll show you that again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And now down to C. Remember, change to the C here in your right hand. Crossing over F sharp, G, B. Going to an A now in your left hand. C sharp with your thumb. F sharp, G, B. Just practice that little section before you go any further. The B chord follows the exact same pattern, except your hand moves a fraction. So what I mean is, it follows the same kind of pattern as in you've got a tune and a note below that you keep swapping to, except the pattern has moved a bit because you're now going to play. So notice there I've got D sharp in the tune, and B with your thumb, and now you cross over E, F sharp, and it stops there. I'll show you that again. So that's 1 and 2 and 3, 4. I'll show you one more time. D sharp, E, F sharp. If you're happy with all the other sections, fantastic. Then the next bit's going to be a lot easier. If you're unsure of anything we've gone through so far, please do practice that. Go over the video round and round and make sure you're comfy. For verse 2 though, E minor 9. 1, 2, C, 3, 4, A major, 1, 2, A minor. And here we've got the little melody section there. Notice now I'm actually starting to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and so on. Notice that I'm counting the beats in the bar so that we can see more clearly where we are in the bar. Let's try that one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, A major to A minor, and when we do this, you see what I did there? Played the A minor. If you remember the tune, that little section went, that's that little piano pattern. But what we're going to do is we're going to play the A minor, and now that we've played the A minor, carry on the rest of that little fill-in. The next part of the second verse goes 1, 2, 3, 4, A major, and now remember that little pattern. And let's still put that in, but the chord really at this point is A minor, and unless we put either a C sharp or a C natural in, you wouldn't know if it was minor or major anyway. If the tune is going and there's no C in that, because here you can see you've got B, A, G, F sharp. There's no C in that bit, so we can't tell whether it's major or minor. So what we'll do is we'll put the C underneath and we'll do that. So let's play through that little section from the E minor 9, 3, 4, E minor to C to A major, then A minor. You see how that works? Tune and chord information as well to tell us whether it's major or minor. In this case, A minor. The next little section, again, repeat of what we've just been playing. E minor 9 to C to A major, then to A minor, and now this little rising pattern that we've got on C, which goes C, and now a chord of B, a full chord of B. In the past we only had B5 at this point. We've got full chord of B there. Let me show that bit from the C. C, 2, 3, 4, that was E, F sharp, G there. After beat number 1, which is the chord, 2, 3, 4, chord of B. The second chorus does the exact same thing as the first chorus from the point of view of what the chords are doing, but what we'll do is we'll just give it a bit more drive now, make it sound bigger, just by playing stronger. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then if you remember in chorus number 1 we just held the A minor for 4 beats, but we'll keep our driving rhythmic pattern going. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the pattern is 2 beats on E minor, 2 beats on C, 4 beats on A minor, 2, 3, 4, E minor 9 to C to A minor, same again, 1 more time, E minor 9 to C to A minor, 2, 3, 4. That's the end of the second chorus. And then it goes to the intro section again, but here in our recording we actually put a more advanced version of that intro in. You could put the easy intro in if you wanted to, but do push yourself. If you can manage this one, it'd be cool. So we're actually going to play the tune now, starting on finger 4. And the reason that you do that is because what we're going to do is we're going to break up a chord of E minor in the right hand. So there's the tune, but we're going to play. And why is that E minor? Well, there is an E, and here you can see E minor, E, G, B. There's your chord of E minor. Let's get rid of the E because we're going to put that down here in octaves. Give it lots of weight and depth, nice and strong down there. And hit the tune on beat number 1. And then we're going to go to the F sharp, then to the G, then to the B. Bit of a jump there. And then jump back down. So what happened there? Well, we've got the tune made smoother using the sustain pedal. Can you see what I did? Instead of it just jumping down to a B like it did in the easy version, now what's happening is I've got B, G, B in between. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and A. And to make it even cooler, even more advanced, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and Then of course you repeat the same idea but with the change of chords. So now we've got the same tune as we had before, but we're changing to a chord of C now. So we've got this pattern. There's the tune, and C and G form the notes of the chord of C underneath that we're going to break up. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and A. Now to a chord of A. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and finally B. So how do we get good at that? Well, one of the things we need to do is practice hands separately, because we need to practice going from the low note of a particular chord and then jumping with your left hand over your right hand to get the right notes. You need to find out exactly where that is. So by practicing the hand movements, you're programming, you're teaching your arms, you're teaching your body how far you actually have to move in order to get from E to the F sharp. One of the other things you can do to help yourself is this. So I'm hitting an F sharp there, and I know where it is because it's just one note higher than this. I don't need to be looking at my fingers there, but in all honesty, yeah, could do with looking over here a little so that I can get that correct F sharp. But once I've got the F sharp, this bit's now actually quite easy in the left hand. I've only got that coming up, whereas this hand, your right hand, has got more of a jump. So here I'm actually looking at my left hand to make sure I've got it in the right place here, and now my left hand is coming up here. I'm actually looking to see where that F sharp is, and now I'm looking at my right hand to ensure that I get that B in the right place. And now I look at my left hand again to make sure I got the C. Still looking at my left hand, and now I'm looking at my right hand here to make sure I get that B. And now we'll look at my left hand, so you can see that you're thinking very carefully about which are the tricky points that we need to be focusing on. And as your hands and fingers play through the music, we're focusing on the tricky bit to ensure that that's the correct bit that we fixed. So the end of the chorus finished with the... And now your right hand needs to jump up as Billie sings Fool Me Once. That's the tune there. So what happens is the piano actually copies what she's singing. So what we've got is the end of that big intro section at the end of the final chorus. So you've just been playing 1 E and 2 E and 3. Right at the end of that bar before beat 1 of the next little section. What do we mean by that? So you've got 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4. So you can see that that B comes in on beat 4 of the end of that B bar. Let's try that again. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and that's the Fool Me Once line, which is copied on the piano, starting on beat 4. So you know that this end section starts with the left hand is 1, 2, 3, 4. Very, very simple left hand single notes, and the tune, I'll show you that again. So that's the Fool Me Once bit starting on B. That's just B, C, B, and then G, F sharp, E, and then here you've got the B, C, B again, and then G, G, F sharp, E. And then that bit is starting on a G, G, A, B, G, F sharp, that's just on the end. So let's go through all of this section. So it finishes just on a very, very empty open E, like that. And then it finishes with a chord of E minor major 9. That sounds really scary, but I'll show you how to play it. It's the most distinctive chord in all of the James Bond music. It's the root and then the 5th and then the minor 3rd. I'm going to play it here. If you can't quite reach that, don't worry, because if you sustain it with the pedal, then you can actually snake your hand up like that. Root, 5th, and then 10th note, because we're actually 10 notes higher than where we started from, which is also the 3rd note. It's the minor 3rd, and then the 5th, and then the major 7th note of an E scale, because if you think about E scale, E is the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th note of the major scale is D sharp there, so that's why that's the major 7th. And then the 9th note here, which we saw previously. So that's what's going on in the right hand, this is what's going on in the left hand, and we end up with, I'll play that again for you, and make sure you roll it so that you end up with that nice strummed guitar sound. Don't forget, please do subscribe to the channel.